Hello, my name's Andy Rafael from eTechnics.com and welcome to another video review. Today we're looking at the Lian-Li Pitstop T7 Mini-ITX test bench. What comes included in the packaging is the left and right panels. You also get the PSU tray, the motherboard tray with the power buttons on there. You also get the PSU support brackets over here. We've also got CD-ROM brackets here and here. We get two handles, one being this one and one being this one, branding the Lian-Li logo on it as well, and also a PCI slot. You also get a few fixtures and fittings, screws, motherboard mounts, thumb screws, as well as some pads, feet, and even a fancy little metal spanner. Now we're going to talk you through exactly how to actually fit this test bench together. So it's a matter of getting the left and right panels and the rubber feet and just peeling them off and placing them over the holes like so. The next step is to take the rubber strips and put it on like this one here. Admittedly, the strips are a little bit too big, so it may take a little bit of time to actually peel the strips off and to place it onto the metal brackets correctly. And then it's just a matter of getting the PSU mounting brackets and securing it to the left and right panels using a screwdriver, which obviously doesn't come included. You can continue to screw through. You can then proceed to move on to the next step, which is using the B screws or thumb screws, which come supplied, and actually screwing the PSU bracket onto the left and right sides. So it's just a matter of lining up the holes, placing the screw in, and screwing it on from that side. Once you've got the top one in, you can proceed to get the bottom one in and then place it on its side and continue to do the other side. Quite simple really as to how this is done. It may take some time for the novice user, but the instructions are quite easy to understand. So it's just a matter of screwing the top one in on that side and then the same for the bottom one. You would then continue to put your power supply in here. After that, it is a step of using the support brackets and the type of screws that come with it, which are type D, and actually screwing the CD drive into here. We're not going to be doing that, but we will show you exactly where this goes. Once you've done that, it's just a matter of getting it and putting it over this side, and once again using the thumb screws to find a hole and screw that into place. Once you've done that, get the other thumb screws and do the back one, turning the whole unit round, and you can continue to fit one on the other side as well. The next step would be getting the motherboard tray and actually turning it upside down, and you can see that the hard drive would actually mount in this bit here. You can see exactly where the fixtures are, and you use the rubber rings provided to actually secure and lock it into place. You can then continue to get the motherboard tray and place that where it needs to go as well, and once again use the thumb screws that come provided and locking it into place with the thumb screws. Like so. And then you can continue to put the motherboard standoff screws in the relevant holes. And once you've actually placed them in, obviously you do get the hex tool for just putting that over like so and tightening it up. You can then proceed to fit the PCI bracket bit on as well. You have to remember to put the standoffs on here because obviously where you've got a bit of a gap here, you will have to screw through into the standoffs. So it's just a matter of, as always, lining things up. take out the actual ventilated holes, it's just a matter of turning the thumb screws on the top, and once you've actually turned it like so and taken the thumb screw out, you can see that the bracket itself pulls away, ready for your graphics card or any other sort of expansion cards that you may have to be slotted in there. And then you can continue to put in the top actually onto the rest of the test bench. So it's a matter of getting, once again, type B, the thumb screws, and lining this up into place. And screwing down. Once you've got one in, and you can see that this is actually sort of flush, it should be fairly easy to get the other ones in as well. What I would actually suggest for you to do is, with regards to the thumb screws, they have got obviously thumb screws which are for making them finger tight, but they have actually also got a ridge in it to put a screwdriver into this bit, so you can actually turn it and tighten it a little bit more. I may suggest doing that just so it doesn't fall apart over sort of time, because generally you will find that things do loosen over time, especially if you've got fans and things on here. The screws will loosen over time, so it's just a matter of sort of tightening everything up that little bit. And then you can stand back and admire your work. One thing that you will notice is there are many various different holes on the front that are empty. And with this you have got the power button and the reset button next to it with the various different switches, including the hard drive LED. So you can actually get an optional panel to go in here, which is the multimedia I/O ports, which includes USB 3.0 to go in there. You can also get an optional 120mm or 140mm fan cooler to be screwed on the front to obviously cool things down, but to be honest, I don't think you're going to need the fan because it is quite open plan. You can see straight away the Lian-Li logo at the top, and it does look very nice indeed. Taking a look at it from other angles, we can see the side view with the black thumb screws all throughout, the other side looking exactly the same, and then the back where we can see the expansion slot where your I/O panel would go with the various different connections, keyboard, USB, where your hard drive would go in here, CD-ROM drive just below it, and the power supply would go in that bit. Overall, I had quite a lot of fun actually assembling this. It does remind me of buying something from IKEA and having to get it home all flat packed and then obviously having to build it. It just makes you feel like you've got a sense of accomplishment that you've actually built it, and then you can actually continue to fill it with your motherboard, power supply, CD drive, hard drive and so forth. So it was quite a nice little challenge, and it was something a little bit different to the norm. There are a couple of little gripes that I've got with it. The lack of availability. I wasn't actually able to find it for sale anywhere in the UK, so that is quite upsetting for me because it is a really good product. It's stylish, it has solid build quality, and it's from a reliable manufacturer as well. For some it may be fun to assemble like myself, for others they may find that it's quite boring and tedious to assemble, but the main gripe is the availability. In other countries I know that it's available quite freely, so hopefully in the future it will be more available to people in the UK, but for now it's not. So I'm going to have to give it 4 out of 5 stars.